podcast. So much universe, so little time.
Everyone, welcome to another MUP Champions episode. I am so excited. We've got a great special guest for you today who has actually been doing a lot of hard work for the Kings of War Champions community. So this is a big thank you to him as well. But of course, it's a MUP Champions episode. So I am here with my co-host, Matthias. How's it going?
Hello everyone, so fine so far, good evening for me, and as we are short for Clash, I'm also preparing everything to travel, and I have the honor to talk to the wonderful Matt this evening and have a little chat about Champions and his video content. Hi Matt, how is it going?
Great, I'm doing great. My name's Matt. Hello everybody.
Yes.
Now, is it MiniWorx Matt, CRT Matt, the CRT Matt? I've seen so many different titles for you, Matt. So.
Right. Yes, I had to change the name. I think MiniWorx, I had a little trouble at first trying to find the right name. So CRT Matt was Combat Results Table is for short, which this is embarrassing. You're calling me out, Mark. But
no, it just tells you I watch your channel. So
right, it does, which I appreciate. I changed it from that to MiniWorx because I felt like MiniWorx fit better because I haven't done any board game stuff. I used to, and war game stuff, and now I got into Mantic, and all it took was one talk from Ronnie. Interviewing him, and that's all I've been doing. And I've done it to the point to where I hand painted a Mantic logo on my wall. So it's been, an awesome journey, and I really love the games. And there's something for everyone, and there's a story in every single game that you talk about later, and that's what I love about Mantic game stuff. So, but that's mainly CRT to MiniWorx, and MiniWorx is I think the best fit. So it's MiniWorx Matt.
Okay, hi MiniWorx Matt.
Yes.
And so you started rather recently with the Mantic video content. So it was like a big surprise for me to see another new channel drop in with Champions. So you have chosen So what was first, the idea for a video channel or to become a Pathfinder?
Well, I actually have been on YouTube now for almost 10 years. And it hasn't been as enthusiastic and as hardcore as it is now. But I started off with Firefight, and I painted up a bunch of those things. I think it was late last year, something like that. And I played a bunch of games of Dead Zone and fell in love with that. And when I saw the Champions, I was like, I've always been a fantasy miniature war game fan. Always. I've loved fantasy, Warhammer Fantasy. It's always been fantasy. And I tried to the Firefight stuff and the sci-fi, which I did, but not as much as Kings of War. It's kind of one of those things that kept teasing at me. And finally I was like, okay. So I started buying the Kings of War stuff after talking to Ronnie, and I have not turned back since. And as soon as I got the hold of the 2-player starter set for Champions, I immediately started painting it. And once it was finished, that's when I played my first game. And after that, it was over. I fell in love with the game, and I see it as a tool for my kids to learn how to play big Kings of War. And my children were not interested in any war game whatsoever till they played their first game of Champions. And now my 12-year-old son, all those games you guys were seeing on my channel right now, he was there the whole time, and he played several games, and he absolutely he's now wanting to paint miniatures, and he had no interest in it before. So Champions has given me not only a lot of hobby time and creativity and fun, but it's also brought my children into it and got them interested in it. And now it's kind of like a family thing. So
yeah, so working as intended.
Right.
Yeah, we have talked about this before here. It's like the Champion is kind of the perfect family intro game to the hobby, because it's like it is this sleek, elegant rules. It's not taking too long. The gameplay itself, and also the painting and models are in a reasonable amount to get things going. And yeah, also my son likes it too. So this is like he is only not fond of that there are no Redkin yet, because this is his faction. So he is more or less waiting for that one to come out, to really go into Champions instead of big Kings of War. But the overall thing is, everything works out as a perfect intro game into rank and flank gaming.
If he's waiting for Reckon, just reuse the Basilean list. He could put some hack paws in there instead of the Cav, and some sharpshooters and some spear guys, and pick his favorite rat model, toss it on a 40 mil base, and he is ready to rock and roll. So he should be all set. I'm trying to do that with my son and have him try to do undead that way. So, and then get the Revenant and some archers and some spear guys together and put his favorite necromancer on a big base and rock and roll. I think that'd be a good way for the people that, feel excluded because their faction hasn't been, brought out yet. So if I had the time and I had a little better skill with the Adobe, I'd pump out some samples for everybody, but I don't, so I haven't. But if I could, I would. So, but that's a good fact. It's a good thing for everybody. So, but anyways, yeah. And I also have to toss in, my wife played Champions with me at Origins, so which is the first time since picking up Kings of War in 2010, right, that she's ever played a Kings of War game. So tick the box there too, which was fantastic.
I've had so much fun with it. It's quick games. There actually is only 7 right now on my YouTube channel. I have 20 games recorded. So they're all edited and they're all scheduled to come out. Voidheart, which is the one I just finished recently, is the next video. Next 3 videos, you'll see Voidheart on the table. So I'm excited for those to come out, because that was the most fun faction that I've painted yet, the Twilightkin. And that's another thing I like about Champions is it's a creative, paintable project in every box. And you're not painting the same thing a million times. So it allows me to use different colors and stuff like that, instead of like the red for the Abyss, my Empire Dust, and, using the same colors all the time, browns for the Northern Alliance.
Yeah.
So I really find that it's allowed me to explore other armies as well and learn their rules. So.
Yeah, I mean, the box size is almost perfect for those among us who can't focus on a single army. So you have a reasonable sized force to get, and once it's done, you don't need to keep focusing on that army and can switch to anything else without any regrets. I like that too. This is like, because I'm a strange person anyway, but it's like a minimum of 3 different armies on the table is the norm. So I can't do without that. So Champions works into that, at least start finishing stuff now, instead of having always projects going on. So it's like it's a different feeling to have a small army, finish it and put it on the shelf, and you can start with the next one and keep playing while you're painting the large forces. So yeah, it's a very good size. So wisely chosen by Ronnie to go with that one as the intro game. Yeah, so with all the factions done, which one do you like the most, like from a background point of view and from a model point of view?
Wow. Well, as you probably, if you've watched any of the games, all 5 of us, there's actually 7 people that are swinging door that are coming over here doing battle reports with me now. So that's pretty cool. But all of them say that they don't like the Basileans because they keep winning, But
Yeah.
my favorite faction, and I've played them unpainted, which is fine, just with the bases, moving them around, because you got it. Once you get the new box, you got to do something with it. So I just take their bases and throw them on the table and see what they do. But so far, the one I have the most fun playing is definitely the ogres, what is Orcamora? That's my favorite so far.
So welcome to the Mantic Universe podcast, where everyone has trouble pronouncing the names. It's like
That's just not exclusively here, by the way. I don't know how Berman came up with that stuff, but he did.
When I did that video on Orcamora, I had edited it. I had to edit for an hour or record for an hour because I screwed up like 100 times before I actually got it correct. So,
I mean, yeah. I mean, at least for me, it's always good to hear others having trouble with things as well, because as a non-native speaker, you're always worried, and especially English or some traditional English names where the spelling doesn't match the pronunciation at all. It's like you go, is that right? Could that be right? Is this something different? And you say, okay, others don't know either. So it's like, okay, it isn't that bad if I do it wrong. It's always good. But yeah.
Matthias, I can hear you clearly and you speak very well.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I think this is also, I mean, this is something Mantic is doing well. They have a lot of fan service, inside jokes, and wordplay with all their names and background things. But as a non-native speaker, those things often go very hard down because, like, you are overseeing the obvious because it's not like cultural background is different and you don't know what they're doing. And I know, like, we have had an interview with the guy who's doing the German translation. He said this is like a nightmare translating Mantic products compared to anything else, because all those wordplay, you have to be very careful on the jokes and things like that, because things are like, you have to research how this joke was in like the local culture and language, how to transfer that over to evenly match naming and things like that. And some stuff is just impossible to go down. It's and also things like when they referencing movies or books that we haven't seen or heard in our region is like, yeah, you're missing a lot just by not being from there. So, but this is also like, they put a lot of effort into that, doing things like this. So this is appreciate, depending, and still pronunciation is a nightmare anyway. So it's leave it that.
It's even a nightmare for us. Like I heard somebody call berserkers, the abyssal berserkers, berserkles. So they started calling them berserkles here when we were playing the game, so it's I don't know where they got that from.
Yeah, it's not even that bad. I mean, because the abyssal berserkers, they need a nickname anyway to make them different from any berserkers or the other armies. So it's as long as they pronounce them different than the dwarf ones, I'm fine with that.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so for the models, I also like the Ogre's army the best by now. I mean, the goblins have something going for them because they're the goblins, and Axel is like a very unique hero in style and things. But as I'm also an Ogre player and have working on an Ogre army the last or past year, so Arakamora is like my favorite champion, like model-wise still, and also from the background thing. This is my choice of force here, and I only hope that Mantic sooner than later updates the Crocodox from the Oak list to match the new style crocodile of the Champions box.
Absolutely. Ronnie, I hope you're taking notes. I absolutely second that. That is a huge upgrade, and it actually looks like what I would think a crocodile would look like, as opposed to the original models. I absolutely second that. So
I will third that.
all right. It's unanimous, Ronnie. Get that noted down there. So hopefully we'll get that updated. So I have not gotten my ogres yet. So I also haven't gotten my halflings yet. So I'm hoping to pick them up in the UK. So for some reason, my friendly local game store can't get it. I did order it from an online store. It looked like they had it in stock, and then they emailed me back and said, well, we don't know when it's going to come through distribution. And it's like, boy, that's kind of disappointing. So the launch was pretty good because my local hobby shop, I talked them into getting the rack. And so we got all 4 armies in the starter set out of the gate, which was really nice. But then it just kind of stalled. So I don't know what's going on. I think, Matt, you had to pick yours up from Mantic Direct as well?
Yeah, I ordered it directly from the website. And Ronnie, being the wonderful man that he is, he overnighted it to me with some mummies because I needed some mummies for my Empire Dust army. And I asked him, I said, I need some mummies, Ronnie. He's like, okay. So, he's very great guy. He's a really great guy. And I had to order them Mantic Direct. And also the only one I was able to get at the store was the 2-player starter set, and they had just 1 left out of like 3. And Miniature Market is actually a distributor of Mantic stuff.
Oh, okay.
So, but they for some whatever reason they can't have it on their. They have 2 stores, and they have a warehouse, so they could only get so much at the St. Charles store, and so much at the St. Louis store. So we've been working on it just like you, trying to get the product in the store. So what Aaron, I'm throwing out a name here, Aaron Richardson, my really good friend who was in the videos. Hey, Aaron. He and I are working with Sean at the store to get the product actually in the store. And they said they're working on it. So, I'm hoping that happens soon. But I have not seen a Champions box set yet, just like you were talking about. And of course, me doing the videos, I need them all.
That's right. Absolutely. I call them glazed potato chips. You buy one company and then you just got to get them all. So, it's just there's no having just one.
Or Cheetos.
Oh yeah, Cheetos. Cheetos. There you go. Very good.
Yeah.
But don't eat Cheetos before playing with your beautiful painted models, though.
Right.
There's a little pro tip there, folks.
I got a comment on my last video that said that gave me advice on eating Cheetos while playing. He said, use a pair of chopsticks.
Oh, I can see that working. Yeah, it's a good one.
People are great. I love it.
Don't know what's going on currently with the distribution and availability for Mantic. I mean, I see it popping up in more places than before, but also not in the usual spots from time to time, and sometimes just listed on back order without any stock. So either it's going to really selling that well that they have trouble distribution, or something else is going on in the back. I mean, situation in the US is difficult anyway. So this might play into that as well. But yeah, so we just hope everything gets better soon for getting us the models where they are needed.
I'm hoping it rides the wave of the Epic Warpath. Everybody is excited about that. I know I've got it all over my house, but I'm hoping that Champions can hook itself to the star, so to speak, and run in distribution. So I'm hoping that comes through as well. And I just want to mention, have you gotten your box sets yet? I know we talk about it on the show all the time, but we're getting closer to the end of the year. But the German edition should be coming out sometime, right?
Yeah, soon. It's
Is that a firm date? TM, there you go. All right. Well, we'll see Ronnie here in a week, so we'll ask him.
yeah, it's they need to get that thing in line a little bit better. I mean, it worked with Epic Warpath to get things done in multiple language all the same time, so they should know how to do it by now. But we will see. Yeah, we need to talk to Ronnie about what he's thinking about and how things are going. And I think because especially for those introduction sets, because you are playing with the kids or gifting them to kids and things like that, having a localized version with the local language is very important. And I don't know. I think Canada is requesting French versions anyway for some box games or sets, or at least in Quebec, if I'm right. So they should do translations on a wider sense now to get things going in multiple countries outside of the UK and the US. So yeah, hopefully this works out and getting better in future. For something very different, Matt, because this is, how to say, nobody likes Basileia for reasons, but they got new cavalry models with the champion set, and hardly anyone is talking about them. And I wonder why, because have you had the old cavalry models or others to compare about them? Is this just something because they are average or nothing special, or why was there no big hype or fuss about the new or like Mantic's first hard plastic human cavalry?
I have the old ones, and they were okay and a little tough to put together. Of course, that was the old, plastic that you had with the notches where you had to, they only fit
the PVC.
The new knights are beautiful. I really think they knocked that out of the park. I don't know why they're not talking about them, but I've actually painted them up, and I actually had a harder time painting them up because there's so much more detail on the shields, on their helmets, on their horses. They have those 4 side shields that have these intricate designs on them. And look at me, I'm a painter, so I'm going into this stuff. They're a little bit bigger, they're bulkier, and I think they look way better than the older ones. I like their pole arms better. It's more of a newer style, I guess you can say, spear than the old, jousting poles that they used to have.
Yeah.
I think all in all, they're much better, much more well done than the older ones, even though I have several.
Okay. Have you tried to kit bash them with the Man-at-Arms or just build them as they are?
I built them as they are. You could kit bash them with the older ones, some of the older stuff, but as far as like how they go together, obviously you have an upper torso, you have the 2 arms, the head, and the bottom, and on the older ones you had one whole body, head, and 2 arms. So there's a little bit more that you can customize.
Yeah.
You can actually put their arms in different orientation, even their shields up, down, and move their head. Of course, you could do that with the old ones, but I think that there's a higher possibility for kit bashing, compared to the older ones for sure.
Mm. So the only thing we now need are resin parts to make Order of the Green Lady and upgrade them for those. Think that should work out, or would you say dedicated knight models for the other ranges are still needed?
Man, I just want it all. All of them, all of the above.
Asking the stupid questions here, it's like...
No, the Green Lady would be great, but as far as the knights go, for sure, these were much easier to put together than any of the other knights I've put together in the past. Like the elves, I have some elves, and I quit putting them together. It's terrible. But the plastic halflings are fun. The halflings are fun to put together. What else? The goblins. I think no, it wasn't the Fleabag riders or the Brock riders for the dwarves. I'd love for that to happen.
Mm. So I mean, just from a general hobby point of view, because Champions is aiming at beginners. So we're always a little bit sorting out and thinking ahead what Mantic could do with the factions. What could they release? Like, are having they enough plastics for some factions to go with? Like, Redkin is possible because they have 2 different plastic frames. So the standard infantry that can be put together in 2 different units, and they have the nightmares that are coming 2 in a box. So you could go make a champion box there without a problem. Some other ranges where there's only a single plastic frame are much harder to put a champion box in there. So like, and thing is like, when we saw the other human factions that are cover heavy, so like getting with the Basilean model and like resin bits for a beginner champions box, would this be reasonable, or do you think this would be too hard or too challenging for people?
I mean, you could do it. It would take a significant amount of hobby time. Believe it or not, I'm not much. I don't play a ton of games, and most of my time is spent modeling and painting. I mean, a lot of it. That's what I was beforehand until I, started recording games. I turned the Basileans into I'm going to mispronounce this name, so look out, Mark and Matthias. I'm going to mispronounce this one too. The army of Rohendra or Rodiria or it's the
Rodia.
other. Rodia. There you go. Yeah. There it is. I kit bashed one of those into the armies where I have some halfling braves in there and stuff like that with the Basileans, and it actually took a long time. So just to get that together, because I wanted different pole arms for the knights, and now that the new knights kit, I could do it easier. But it would definitely take more modeling time. But the way the world is now, we are spoiled for choice when it comes to finding other models if we really wanted to make that type of army. But obviously you want it to be Mantic stuff. You want to support the brand that you absolutely love the games for. So
finding other models is still challenging to a point, because you can go to the internet and it's much easier than 20 years ago to find stuff, of course, but availability on a global side is still a challenge. Like, just because some models are available in my region doesn't mean it's available as well in the US too, or in Asia or Australia. So this is like still a huge thing. It's like, you just need to buy those models there, and then no, it's the shipping will kill it already. It's also like, if you have a 3D printer, it isn't that easy. It's not just a hobby in itself, but it's actual work to get armies out of a printer, and not something I would like to do in a small flat or with pets and kids around and things like that. So and buying printed models is also regional depending, because otherwise the shipping will be a problem. So there's that. So availability of plastic models is a big thing for me in general, because it's like, you can get other models too, and then you look at what is there, how to get them, the prices, how to handle them. It's like, I've got my fair share of 3D printed models, but I just have recently found something who print them in a material and a quality that works for me for the hobby, because I've had stuff broken with shipping because the resin was too brittle. Others were bended and you couldn't put them straight anymore because the resin was like, you can warm it up, straighten it, and the resin will bend back over time, so and things like that. And it's like I'm not going to buy resin printed models via Etsy or other platforms if I can get plastic ones. So, and even if the plastic ones are not 100% right, it's like okay, I can make more with that, with kit bashing than with putting out resin. And then it's also a price question. I mean, there's the historical companies that doing God's work at the moment with putting out all those nightly factions. So like looking at Periminatures to get a late Gothic knight army is reasonable priced, and plastic is nice to work with. Victrix is doing Crusader models, so you can go with them if you need the models. But still, it's not fantasy. They have a different look to them, and
right,
yeah.
And you can add elements if you buy some of the Mantic stuff to their kits as well. I found that War Games Atlantic is very close. So like all my goblins have Aztec shields. So, with the feathers and stuff. So, they're about the same size. Even the arms are. So like, I've kit bashed with other kits. But I did make an army of men. What's that army a long time ago? Gosh. And it was for a friend of mine, and it's the Brotherhood. And I used the Basileans and some stuff from other kits to kit bash that, and it took forever to do, but it is possible. And I see what you mean is the 3D printing being a hobby in itself, for sure. I've ordered 3D printed miniatures, and they even here, they come broken. But I'm spoiled for choice when it comes to 3D printers because I have a lot of friends around me and up at the store that have them, and I don't want it either. I don't want to 3D print stuff either, So I have a way of doing it, but I find that it's more fun if I can try to find the bits and pieces from the Mantic kits and bash them together, like my free dwarves. I use Northern Alliance bits for my free dwarves and vice versa. So,
yeah.
So do you think that we'll get into updating the companies a little bit? Like you just using the same rules, but have a stand-in with a different miniature, or different, for the champion, or different miniatures for, the units that are in the thing. Kind of like before I mentioned, you could do the undead or rats by subbing them in, but, like Basileans, like I've got my Sisterhood archers. I'm seriously considering painting them up and then using them as alternate units for that. And, come up with a little extra narrative and things like that. So that could go a long way towards kit bashing as well. So.
I mean, the only tricky point about this replacement companies is to write your own background and fitting in. And I'm not sure. There's a lot that can be done.
Oh man. Like I've had so many thoughts now that I've played so many games of where he could go with this. Like speculation of like, what if he had a mercenary box where there's 4 good units and 4, evil units, and they can be subbed in or added to the army to make it a little bit more interesting, or, having extra units where they sell a sprue where you can sub, like you're talking about, Mark. Like I've had all these ideas of like, doing my little house rule stuff where I can add a mercenary champion in if you don't want to take the regular one, or adding mercenary units along with the other ones. So hold the line scenario for champions is what I'm thinking of. With 4 units, it's so hard to stop. If you're the defender, it's so hard to stop the attacker from running off the edge of the board, with just 4 units.
It's not that easy as people think. It's still like, it's a small game, simple rules. Everything is easy going. No challenging there. So it's like, then just pick the right scenario, switch sides, and then let's see how well you do. It's not. It's still much more to the game than most people think for a simple intro game like that. So, but I like challenges. It's not like things are too easy. it gets boring soon. And I mean, the advantage with fast games is that you can switch sides like easy. So if attacker defender, you like play 2 games, switch attack and defender up, and then the one who gets 2 wins first has done the game, or won the evening, or whatever you would call that, gets a cookie.
A cookie? That's awesome. I'll make a resin cookie and put it on a trophy just for you, Matthias. When we do a tournament up at the store, I'm going to do that. I'm going to have a trophy with a cookie, and I'm going to dedicate it to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's very kind of you.
Very, very cool.
So the big question now is, we have seen, because when we were already talking about new things and what may be coming up, there was a small little tease, or several small little teases by now, for something new coming in November with a new Champions faction. It's a tricky one by now, because we had hints that it's hidden in plain sight, and then it's like, I am way too eager to dig deep into the lore, so I will miss the obvious stuff at all. So, what do you guys think are we getting?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, as far as the lore goes, I have just begun like a couple months ago when I heard your guys' deep dive into Panathor episode with about talking about the lore and stuff and speculating on what could be coming out. And so I'm not too deep into the lore to even really give an educated guess, I guess you can say. But what it looks like to me is 3 different things. It looks like it could be some kind of bird with horns, or some kind of talon. It almost looks like a chicken claw.
I'm going with a claw myself. So
yeah, some kind of claw. That's what it looks like to me. But if you turn it a certain way, it looks like a very long nose with 2 horns coming up as well.
Ooh, that's fascinating. See, I don't have the ogre piece, and I don't have the halfling piece. So, which I'm missing. At one time, it kind of looked like a palm tree. So, if you looked at it a certain way. So, it's like, well, I'm sure it's not a beach vacation faction. So,
yeah, you never know. It could be. I mean, could be something from the ocean again, or a beach, a tortoise faction. Haven't had one of those.
Yeah, I'm thinking more, since we don't have a herd army. Maybe we get something kind of that way, if it actually is a talon, or, I haven't heard the snout with the horns before. So that just made me think of that.
I mean, how to say it? I was pretty sure last year that we will get herd as a refreshed army. But somehow we didn't get the full refresh or full new army like teased in the past year that was expected. So because things change and everything is in flow, and Ronnie usually talks stuff much further in the future than what actually we expect. So because he knows too much, of course, because it's his company, so he knows what's happening or what is planned in 5 years. So when he teases something, it could be something far ahead and not what we expect to be next year. But I got the impression, or last year, or in the last 2 years, I got the impression that we got herd as a Mantic army. It didn't come. So maybe when you see here, it could be horns, long nose, talon, things like that. So maybe herd would be something nobody expected, and it would be great. I would love to get herd as an army with models from Mantic. And there are also some other background things going on in the lore deep dive, like there's always the tease that there's something from the east is coming, but this might be unrelated to champions, so it could be something different at all. It also could go maybe also because from how this thing look at orc refresh or new orc models coming into that. It's a tricky one.
Well, the Void has 2 armies, Void Heart and Void Talon. And I'll give credit to my son for this. He said, we only have 1 Rift army. So maybe be something from the Rift?
Oh, well, that could be. Well, there's a number of factions. We went over this on Panelor that were brought up in the Clash of Kings 24 book with the Twilightkin. So there's a number of things that could be. But, Matt, if you've got all the pieces together, if you don't mind, take a picture and throw it up on the Kings of War Champions Fanatics page over there on Facebook.
Sure.
And we can take a look at it and maybe speculate all together. So more and more Champions fans are joining that page over on Facebook all the time. So
also post it on Reddit and the Kings of War forum, please. So we have now. So it's not just only Facebook, you guys. There are a lot of there are people out there who don't like Facebook, so we have also cross-posting everything that we can on Reddit and the Kings of War forums, so that everyone has a platform of their choice and don't need to think they're forced into going with something they don't like.
Yes, FaceBlab. And this is a good place for Fred to run his commercial for the Kings of War forum. Go, Fred.
Yeah.
This is Fred reminding you to visit the Kings of War forum, kowforum.com. No ads, no commercials. That's kowforum.com.
I did not know there was a forum, so that's good for me to know.
There you go. Yeah, Fred runs the Kings of War forum. So,
Excellent.
And Dave runs the Kings of War wiki, and I've got the FaceBlab page, and we all got a little thing, and then we've got Discord, and I don't know who's running Reddit.
Yeah, that's me. So,
there you go. See,
it's all in one place,
There you go. Well, feel free to cross post or tell me when there's something I got to grab for the FaceBlab page. So
I was just picking up or looking up the faction symbols that we have. Like some of them were chosen ones are obviously linked to the factions. Like you have the Night Stalkers, which had a nightmare face in there, the dwarves, the elves, Empire of Dust, Forces of the Abyss with the trident is already getting tricky, because when it like a black trident with red background, that's the Abyss, and you get a white trident with green bluish background for the Trident Realm. And others like halflings or salamanders wouldn't be that obvious if you don't know that these are the faction symbols. So this could be anything else. So I'm not sure if the symbol is really linked to what the faction is, or it could be something like a coat of arms the faction uses, but has nothing obvious to do with the faction itself. So like the Ogres or League of Rhodia symbols that are used. So yeah, so everyone who has an idea of things, post your ideas on Reddit, Facebook, the Kings of War forum, get out your speculation. Maybe we already know or already have said it and don't know it, that we figured it out. So in future, leave your comment here on YouTube, on Spotify, what you think about it. And yeah, let's see what's really coming up and who was right and who was wrong.
I have it sitting over here put together, and I'm looking at it right now going, wow, that actually looks like a bird too. So what I'll do is I'll take a picture from all angles and post it up on Reddit and Facebook.
there you go. See, now Reddit's going to be one of your favorite places to go, Matt. So you need to post your video links over there too, unless Matthias is cross-posting them. Oh, do you? Do. Cool.
Yeah. Talking videos. How is your channel going? Growing or steady? Or you see the downside of not being a Warhammer channel?
Well, it's actually going very well. I've actually got a big uptick in viewership. Originally, what I sought out to do was to do videos to help people assemble the models and to show them what they get in the 2-player starter sets. and I was painting, and then I decided, you know what? Why not? Why aren't I doing how to paint videos? Because there's not a lot of them out there for Kings of War, specific models. So I started with the Champions models, not thinking I was going to play the game or love it so much. But when I started painting them up and I go, wow, I just completed that. I got a sense of accomplishment here. Why not paint the other one and play a game? So I did that and was like, wow, this is a lot of fun. So all that progression, I'm doing I'm doing videos on the champions itself, on how to paint them. I lost the footage for Void Heart, so I apologize, everybody. But I started doing some painting videos for champions, and now I'm doing battle reports. And battle reports are like where that's all I've done, and it's actually really increased the viewership, and people are watching my other videos because of that, which I really appreciate. But it's actually going much better, and I've switched over to completely Mantic, and that's all I've been doing. And I think that's where I'm going to be staying, because he literally has something for everything. And I've tried to get into other games, and I just can't do it because I keep just going back to the Mantic game. If I feel like science fiction, it's there. Fantasy, it's there. Small Halo, all the games that he has, even board games, so you've seen a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So, and I appreciate it too, because I saw that there wasn't a whole lot going on, and over at the Fanatics page, people were looking for battle reports, and I didn't see a lot, or basically any videos out there. So I started doing some for the MUP channel, and then all of a sudden yours came out, and it's like, oh man, these are really good. I guess I don't have to do this anymore. Somebody's doing it. Great. So that's why I really appreciate them, and I think people really appreciate the how to play videos. And one of the great things is you've got the boys doing them too. So that really helps too. If you, I've showed them to a couple of people. It's like, see, kids this age are playing this game. So, and they're entertaining, and you can tell they're new at it and everything, but that's half the charm. So, but very, very cool. And I've really appreciated them myself, Matt.
Well, awesome. Thank you. And that was the point. I wanted to show everybody that, my kids are having a blast playing this game, and and that's exactly what you're saying is, see a need, fill a need, right? So there was no content. So I thought, yeah, hey, I like it, and I might as well and just keep going with it. And now I've got, 11 videos in the backlog that are going to be coming out. Like I got some with the ogres, Void Heart, and then I'm currently painting up the Northern Alliance and halflings and goblins all at the same time. So we're going to have a bracketed tournament coming up soon of all 9 factions, and we're going to have 8 people here in my studio. Thankfully, it's huge. And we're going to do kind of like a March Madness bracketed tournament here, all in a series of videos. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun with all the factions that are out now currently. So,
oh, that's great. So, well, hopefully we'll have a 10th one so you can even off sometime. But right. I'm sure you'll have that before the 10th one's available. But I mean, November's coming. So,
yeah, and I have a lot of fun doing it, and hearing that from someone is really, really gratifying. I know people are watching it, so that's the whole point of it, I guess, right? So, and if you guys leave comments in there, we always right at the beginning of the video, hey, how are you? This is your comment. Here's we're gonna give you a shout out and thank you, Mark.
Oh, very cool. No, I have really appreciated them, and it's very nice. So I'm glad you could join in today and chat this up. So, it's really working hard building a Kings of War Champions community. So, and keep going. So I'll throw something out there every once in a while if I have a good idea. But, for right now, I appreciate you doing the thing. So it's really appreciate it.
If you have any ideas or want to do something, with me at any time, just let me know and I can make you a part of it. And just like you graciously invited me here. Matthias, the same thing goes for you, sir. And I love your podcast. I listen to it. So I appreciate being on here. It's a lot of fun. I love talking champions. So I love talking Kings of War in general. So
there you go.
It's always good to have a little bit of cross promotion and things like so. Yeah, we it was very nice to have you here and talk to how to say a different point of view from things like because our hobby is we want to avoid the bubble building that we just talk to our own bubble and listeners and things and not expanding outside and look what everyone else is doing. So I appreciate everything, and also I like your channel and what you're doing there and putting out the content in a row. So I hope it keeps going. And it's nice that to get this nicely painted models on the videos, because you see often with Kings of War videos or battle reports, people use other models of the armies and or the old models that they still have around. So having a dedicated Mantic models to see what the quality they have now is very nice and very appreciated from you. So thank you for that. And if any of the listeners has any idea what we should do next or have any cross promotion or what they want from us to do, from Matt to do, or what else, any crazy ideas that have, please write it in the comments, leave it somewhere. Tell us what you would like to hear, to see, and or what you would like to watch next.
Yeah, and I can definitely, if they leave comments about something they want us to do here as well, I can accommodate that for sure. On MiniWorx Matt, my YouTube channel. I will absolutely do that. And I'd love for you guys to come on live with me sometime and play a game live on the table. That'd be fun too. So we could work that out.
Absolutely. Well, fantastic. Well, we're going to have to put links to all this stuff in the show notes. So we'll throw up a link to Matt's channel, the Reddit, the Facebook page, the Kings of War forum, the wiki. We got it all going here. So if you like champions, folks, there is coverage for you out there. And, like I said, we're trying to build that community. So, and it's going to be very interesting. So I guess we'll end up, because we got to get Matt off to his event, but 4th edition Kings of War. So I'll give you my estimate. I think we're going to get an announcement at Clash of Kings in a week from today. And I think we're going to see models and stuff in November. And it's going to be very interesting to see how the 10th faction is released with champions. And then also, I think that same faction is going to come out for Kings of War. And I guess it'll be in the 2-player starter set, but who wants to go next? That's my estimate.
Yeah, I haven't yet to play maybe 5 games of 3rd edition, so I'll welcome 4th edition, no problem. You have no bad habits to break. That's great. That's right.
How about you, Matthias? We're going to do the big grand send-off maybe for this year. So
yeah, I don't think that we're going to see 4th edition this year. It would, at least for me, it would be a surprise if we get it this year. Also, having big a Christmas box with Kings of War 4 would be very, very nice. I would always love those, but I think now with having Epic released in autumn, going with another big game release the same year might be too much for Mantic to do. So, and they usually in the past have done some alternation between sci-fi and fantasy on their focus. Like when people are now complaining that this year was very sparse for Kings of War and fantasy in general, and there wasn't that much, while we got a lot on the sci-fi side. So it might be next year the big focus on fantasy, and we get, so I would say 4th edition, summer next year.
I'm thinking Adepticon. They might put it out at Adepticon, because doesn't the Clash of Kings, the new one, come out in the fall?
Well, this is about the time of the year where the Clash of Kings comes in. So with me reading the tea leaves from everything Ronnie said over the year, that's kind of where I'm coming up with my ideas on that. But, you know, hey, we were supposed to get that third army last year with the refresh, which, could be the new army this year, but very interesting. Yeah, I think that the delay in Epic Warpath coming in is kind of monkeying around with stuff because that was supposed to be here much earlier in the year. And I think that the delay is kind of mucking things up a bit. So,
I mean, yeah, you never know what's happening in the background. I mean, hopefully we get something next week at Clash. So this will be, we will try to leak everything that we possibly can to you guys and dear listeners. Keep on the channel, keep on YouTube and Spotify, because if there is something coming big that they want to hide somewhere or get exclusive to the visitors of Clash, we are going to leak it. It's out there somewhere, or at least tell third-person view and things like that, or try to sneak in some pictures or get Ronnie accidentally spoilering things ahead. So we try to get you covered and get as much information as possible sooner than later.
Well, if they're spilling news about 4th edition, they're not going to want us to keep that quiet. So I think they'll be very happy that we're out spreading the news. So I'm very much looking forward to dinner next week. So did they do that last year? Did they have dinner and then Ronnie talk? Because 2023 was a zoo. I couldn't hear what was going on. And I mean, people were just having a fantastic time. The little disco bar we were in was very loud, and it was a zoo. And the Goblin Blaster rum just came out, and Ronnie was pouring shots of it on the one table, and it was a little out of control in 2023. Was it better last year?
No, it was different. Not better, just different. I mean, everything was a little bit better prepared, but they tried to get to make everything, they try to be better prepared and not have Ronnie talking, but have a PowerPoint or video presentation going. That didn't work well, so they had to try several times to get the video up and the pictures going, so Ronnie was still talking and doing his thing, and it was a little bit more quiet, but also because they have it in a larger room, difficult to hear, because some people were already playing something or some games in the back, and only those in the front really listening. So, it was like everything Mantic in this kind of the chaotic, organized style Ronnie has to do too much at the same time and trying, but it was still great. We got a lot of things out there. Was able to ask some questions. At least this is important to get Ronnie at least to answer some of the questions from the crowd. And but let's see if it's better this year or just as usual. But it's like, we will go to try to get our sneak in with Ronnie to ask him our questions. So maybe we get something, better out there.
There you go. Well, we'll see. Well, I'm really looking forward to it. So it should be great. And again, as I just mentioned, I'm really going to be curious on how they, mix champions in with the release of 4th. And, they've also promised that they're going to be doing more stuff that's more lore focused and stuff like that. We've been trying to get Matt and Ronnie on, but, we're kind of in a delay on that appearance right now. So, I think we got some great stuff coming. So I'm really looking forward to it. This back half of the year should hopefully make up for the lack of activity in the beginning of the year, unless you're a Champions fan, because we've gotten lots of stuff and it's been great.
Yeah, so even if there wasn't much for Kings of War, there was still a lot for fantasy going on, and the new models we got are nice. I mean, you got new Basilean Knights, so what more could you want from a fantasy point of view? And Marky would now say Plastic Sisterhood should be there as well, so I would agree. But
yes, Plastic Sisterhood. So absolutely. The one thing that I wanted to bring up real quick, sorry, Matthias, but
Yeah, go on.
everybody can chime in on this, but if you notice with the Basilean Knights, they are generic horses. It
Yeah.
says it on the one sprue. And then with the Basilean Knights, you got the heads and the plates. And very interesting. I'm wondering if this is a template. So maybe we'll see, Green Lady or something like that, that goes along with these generic horse sprues, and then they'll just have different heads and then maybe plates to throw on them or whatever else is there, kind of like a customize your own horse thing per army.
I mean, I hope so, that this is the idea behind that we get some generic mount models that you can then have individualized with different rider sprue, where you get all the important faction pieces on the frame with the rider models. The only thing I'm a little bit worried, and I hope it doesn't happen, is to overuse the horses again. Like with the BBC models, they have used the horses with different riders for almost all factions that got cavalry. And I hope they avoid it this time, because as everyone, it loses. It still, even if you can customize it to a point, it loses it's not something special anymore if everyone has horses. This is a different. Dwarfs have their Brogs as riders. The halflings have dogs, and if everyone else use a horse, this would be disappointing. So keeping horses as a mount to the human factions, or at least to some niche abilities, or kind of not having the heavy cavalry to be horses for all the remaining factions out there. So this would be my wish. I mean, it's how to say, a little bit egoistic now, because I have built my elves with panthers, because I didn't like the horses they come with, and so I put the light cavalry, the silver priest cavalry from the elves on the horses, and the heavy cavalry, the Stormwild cavalry, is on panthers that I got from the Basilean Sisterhood. So I would really like to see something when I now add plastic panthers for Sisterhood cavalry, also that is customizable the same way the horses are, and then like interchange these things a little bit with the other factions, so that the elves could use the panthers as heavy cavalry and the horses as light cavalry, while Basilea has it the other way around, also adding Order of the Green Lady and Brother Mark riders to get horses and knights in there, which would then also work for Kingdoms of Man, and get something else completely for the Forces of the Abyss. I mean, Abyssal Riders could work with horses as well, but I would like to see something different in there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt, you want to chime in on that one?
Yeah, I lost my mic for a second. Yeah, I'd love to see the Abyssals riding gargoyles of some kind, or big gargoyles. I love how the Northern Alliance, they have them riding falcons, large falcons, and the maw beasts and things like that. I love how they do that, and I know exactly what you mean by that. And I love, how they have different, like dam busters,
Yeah.
But it would be neat to see, like you said, the sisters riding, panthers or something different as well, or even the heavier knights having, instead of horses, something else, So, yeah, that would be pretty cool as far as a creative or painting point as well. That would be pretty cool to have all these different things to choose from, the paint and options and uniqueness of the armies, because Kings of War in my mind is little dioramas. And I love doing little dioramas. So having different things on those bases and then seeing them lined up on the table is my dream for all the armies that I have, so. But the only one I don't have is Trident Realms. So I got all the other ones. So, I'm kind of went crazy when I started collecting Kings of War stuff, and I was like, wow, I bought too much already.
Welcome to the club, Matt.
Yeah,
Right.
you in good company. It's
Absolutely. Well, at least the Trident Realm's coming with Axel, so you'll be getting some of those models soon.
Oh yeah, I know, and I fear painting naiads. For some reason, I just aesthetically, I don't know what I'm going to do or how I'm going to paint them. I've been staring at them because I have them from my Northern Alliance, and they're ice naiads. And I'm like, what? They got to be painted coral and this white, and then the pinks, and then the blues, and I'm just going through my mind like, how am I going to do this? So we're going to figure it out now.
Well, I'm looking forward to it because I have the same problem. So I give him black hair, and it's like, ugh, that looks like crud. I've had him for years, and I'll be honest with you, I have not, besides test models, I have not painted my naiads. So I am waiting for your video to come out, Matt, to give me some inspiration. I've seen a couple of them out there, and I am with you. I just have a hard time putting a brush to them. They're built, they're primed, but I just have a hard time. I got the Leviathan, and everything, the bolt thrower, and they're built and ready to go. So inspire me, Matt.
I will, like I did with the Void Talon.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had a hard time with those flames too. So I appreciated that video. And sometimes you just need that. But I am going to use those tips you had in there when I get mine done. He is primed. I am in the process of, like you, building all the companies that are out and painting them. And, I get about maybe 3 hours a week to work on them. And it's a lot of work. So, but I've gotten the Northern Alliance done, and I got stuck on the Abyssals for some reason. They're just, I'm painting them. They're not good. They're just like a speed paint army. But for some reason, I am just stuck on them. I don't know why. So
yeah, a lot of red.
I don't know. But I'm hoping to break through that block right now. I'm just kind of painting colors on everybody. So, and as we talked in the last episode, goblins were the easiest one to put together. So, it's like, okay, silver, some wood, just kind of making some kind of progress on all of them at the same time, and then I can kick back into gear on them. But yeah, I don't know why I got a mental block on them right now.
Well, I got 3 videos on the Abyssals
Oh yeah, I saw them.
to help you out with that.
It's the flame on the bloody cardinal too, on the hammer. They've got those really good points of focus for the companies. You know what I mean? So
Right. A lot of water, a lot of medium.
I like what you did with Alanis with the lightning bolts going down with the paper clips to hold that stupid little mace. And mine is broken twice already. So,
I did too, because that mace that she's got, or staff, it actually was broken in the kit. And I go, how am I going to I can't have this just glued at a small little point. So I came up with that idea to hold it there. So
it's very cool. If you have not seen Matt's model of Alanis, check it out. It should be all over every social we discussed today. Maybe soon on the Kings of War forum. So
hopefully.
But absolutely. But yeah, you had a really cool idea for putting these green lightning bolts out of the bottom, and it kind of supporting that mace staff or whatever she's wielding there. So
it's looking great. It puts the magic back on the base, if you want it like that.
Thank you.
Something different, all because when you mentioned the Abyssal, there's too much red on them. Mantic had also, there's I think 2 official or kind of official color schemes that you can get, because when the Vanguard models that are now on the listed together this BBC box with the old style models that are also now on the vault for resin printing, and they have this bluish violet kind of darker color scheme. So if someone is like just called, I think the box is called Demons and Devils. You should find it on the
Oh, yeah.
Kings of War shop page. And this is like a really nice alternative color scheme. So if you think you are uninspired and there's too much red and things look like that, those are really nicely painted with having a violet as shadow color and this lightish blue as main skin tone. So this is something like really something like different and a darker tone to compare to the bright red, and should go easier for some people who don't know what to do with the red or find red colors hard to paint. So they are always, how to say, the inspiration is already out there. You just need to find it.
I just saw that. I just looked it up, and that looks really cool. Hard to do, but it looks really cool. It's for the, they're using them for the RPG line, for the Abyssals. That is really kind of neat. Well, if you remember, the Abyss was flooded, so maybe that cooled off the red and their natural blue sheen is coming out. How about that for some lore?
Yeah, it works.
Well, now that you pointed that out, I mean, maybe I'll do the succubi like that and do a video on it.
There you go. Well, there you go, Matt. See, you got to pick up another starter box. And
I already got a mega army and a regular army and an ambush army box.
There you go. Well, they're supposed to come out with the Basileans and the Abyss separately, too, at some point. So I'm not sure when that is. But that would definitely be a question I have to ask Ronnie at Clash. So
yeah, so many questions to ask for Ronnie, and I guess so little time.
I see what you did there, Matthias.
Well, I recently interviewed him and tried to get some stuff out of him. Every 2 months, he comes on the channel and we talk about everything that's happening at Mantic. So, you guys will talk to him, leak some stuff, and hopefully you'll, message me on Facebook or something and say, hey, check this out. Here you go.
He didn't answer this question for us. Get it out of him. That's fantastic. Yeah, your last interview with Ronnie was good. So, folks, if you have not seen it. So, speaking of which, Matt, we've been talking about your videos all day long. How can people find your videos?
I'm, of course, on every Mantic group, and I post frequently photographs of what I'm working on and my videos for my YouTube channel. But my YouTube channel is MiniWorx Matt. And MiniWorx is spelled with works is spelled with an X. So it's MiniWorx. And you can find me on YouTube. I also have a TikTok, but I don't have full videos on that. So I'm also on Reddit as well. You can find them on Reddit. And coming soon, the Kings of War Forum is where I'm going to go. You can find my videos on there as well.
Fantastic.
And I've got 4 hours. I got 4 hours of Champions to play now. So,
well, that's fantastic. Yeah, because you're doing the Pathfinder thing. So
that's right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I got joined up. It's like, yes, Champions. Okay, I can demo this. Yes. And so I'm excited about it. I'm getting mine painted up and doing some events. I wish we could have done. I wish I could have done some demos down there, but I did actually the demo, which English, wonderful language. So I actually participated in the demos. I didn't give the demos, which was very nice. And then I did the Halo paint and take this year at Origins Game Fair, which was fun. So I'm looking forward to more Champion stuff coming around, and hopefully we'll see it at Adepticon, Matt. And hopefully Champions will just be building on strength on strength and keep going forward. So.
Absolutely. You're not going to see me stop anytime soon. I'm going to be very Kings of War and Champion centric for sure. And I'm trickling in firefight battle reports and dead zones and stuff like that, but not as much as you'll see as Kings of War and Champions and even Ambush. And I have a siege planned and a bracketed tournament with Champions and a Kings of War narrative campaign. I got a lot of things planned, so I'm not going to stop anytime soon.
Well, we're all grateful for that. Yeah, we're all grateful for that great content. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on today.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. So we really appreciate it. And again, check out Matt's channel. And Matthias, anything else we need to tell the listeners before we head out today?
Yeah, just have a great time, have a great evening or morning wherever you are, and let's get more champions in our life.
I'm working on it.
Leave that in. Fantastic. Matt, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
It was an absolute pleasure. I'd love to come back on and talk champions anytime you'd like.
You got it. You got it.
Great.
You got an open invitation. So maybe after the new faction drops and stuff like that, we can chat and we'll see how it goes. I'd love to get all the reactions and stuff like that. So,
Absolutely.
all right, good deal. Well, have a great time at your event.
I will. They're all like, where are you at?
All right. Well, again, we appreciate it. Thanks for spending the extra time.
Absolutely. Mark, it was a pleasure. Matthias, it was great to meet you both.
Take care.
Bye.